If I were moving to Southern Oregon today, I might not pick the same area to live that I live right now. And I know there's probably all sorts of questions going through your head, like what area do I live and what's wrong with it and where would I pick instead and why? And of course, what area might be the best fit for your current situation? And believe me, I will answer all of those on this video right here. The truth is, I love where I live deeply. It's where I grew up, but life changes, right? What made sense when it was just my wife and I might not make sense now that we have a family with 3 young kids. There's other areas of Southern Oregon that could be even a better fit for us in our current situation. And what makes sense at this stage in life might not make sense, when the kids are older or when we're empty nesters or even when we're retired. So with this video, I'm going to show you the areas that I would consider personally if I were in these different stages of life. Before we get into that though, I should probably tell you, I'm Brian Simmons with the Buying Southern Oregon Real Estate Team. I'm a local real estate agent here in Southern Oregon, and I've helped young professionals, families, retirees, and buyers of all types to find the perfect community here in Southern Oregon for the lifestyle that they wanted to live. And that's earned us a top spot in the top 1% of all local real estate agents here in Southern Oregon and dozens of 5-star reviews. So if there's anything we can do to help you, don't hesitate to reach out. But let's go ahead and get started with my current life situation, which is that I'm married to my wife and we have a young family. And the location that we live is just about a mile outside of the small town of Rogue River, and we live on about 2 acres. And it's great for a lot of reasons, okay? We have a small town that has pretty much everything: a grocery store, pharmacy, hardware store, all the things you could ever need in a small town. We have a home with 2 acres that has great space for our kids to play outside and to be kids. There's tons of things to do in our town with outdoor activities like with the Rogue River, with hiking and biking and fishing and rafting and all those sorts of things. Our friends are there, our family's there, and it has a true sense of community. And all that's great, right? But maybe not perfect for everybody. In the area that we live currently, the price range varies a lot, from around $300,000 on the lower end to well over $1 million on the higher end, depending on the type of property you're looking for. And there's a lot of them. There's a huge variety, from small, senior communities like Brookside Village in Rogue River, to single-family residential homes in town, to single-family residential homes on acreage, to riverfront properties, to big 100-plus acre properties. So with all that going for it, what could possibly be the downside? Well, in our life, being 30 minutes to the town of Medford can be kind of tough, because if we're going in and out of town multiple times a day, I go into the office, my wife takes the kids to karate, she picks them up, I pick them up, we're going back and forth, and it's not uncommon for us to make 4 trips to Medford combined between the 2 of us, and that gets to be a lot. So for us, having the kids that are involved in activities from karate to football practice to dance lessons, all those sorts of things, it can be a lot for going in and out of town. And then if we want to go into town to meet family or friends for dinner or anything like that, it just adds another trip, and it starts to add up pretty quickly. So the cost standpoint for fuel and the inconvenience of driving that many hours in a day can be taxing. In addition to that, the town that we're in, Rogue River, doesn't have much of a nightlife, limited restaurant options, but they are actually all pretty good for the most part. And so it's just one of those places that it's been great for us, but I'm not sure if it's the best place for us now, okay? While the town does have a lot to offer to folks at different stages, it might not align as well for folks who are looking for more of an energetic downtown vibe with bars and shops and restaurants to roam around. So let's talk about that next life situation a little bit more, because the next town is going to cater a little bit more to that lifestyle. That next life situation is the folks who are what we're going to call young professionals, or maybe the dual income with no kids, that type of a situation, right? So good options for that type of life situation would be Medford, Grants Pass, but the best option, in my opinion, is somewhere like Ashland. Okay, and what's so great about Ashland? Well, basically all those things that I just mentioned are what Ashland has to offer. A really vibrant and thriving downtown scene, loads of fun bars and restaurants, parks, vineyards, all sorts of things to do. Tons of amazing outdoor activities are very, very nearby, from mountain biking on the trails just outside of Ashland, to hiking, to Lithia Park, Immigrant Lake, skiing in Mount Ashland, and just tons and tons of outdoor recreation opportunities, more than you can shake a stick at there in Ashland. The price point there is gonna be a little bit higher though. So smaller 2-bedroom homes can be found for the $400,000 range and even under, but bigger estates can get into the millions, like multiple millions, especially if you're, somewhere that has a lot of acreage or vineyard or something like that. You can be 3-4 million, and anywhere in between. There There's a wide range of property types in Ashland, from condos and retirement communities to original bungalows near the Southern Oregon University campus to craftsman charmers on the hill up above town to beautiful new construction with really incredible views, even a few vineyards with bigger properties on the east side of the interstate if you're interested in that type of a thing. So really a huge variety of property types there in Ashland. But what's the downside? Well, it's expensive. Okay, the median home price in Ashland is about $650,000, and the cost of living there tends to be a little bit higher with the various taxes that are aimed at cashing in on the tourism industry that they have there. Okay, it also does get busy during those tourist times, and the city is actually pretty progressive, and some people think that it's kind of a little bit of an overreach with some of the things that they've done there, like trying to ban natural gas in new construction. So it's not for everyone. Ashland definitely has a vibe about it, and it's really attractive to a lot of type of people. It's probably the most popular place for date night in Southern Oregon, which tells me that's a place that a lot of people really want to visit, but maybe not live. And there's just too much going on there for some people, right? So for example, if you're an empty nester couple who just wants peace and quiet with good access to healthcare or golf and all those sorts of things, Ashland might not be the right place. But let's talk about that life situation next and what could be a great place for you. So the next life situation is the empty nesters. And so a lot of good options. We just ruled out Ashland. Jacksonville is a great option for folks that are in that type of situation. And Central Point is also a great option. But I think the best option for the empty nesters, in my opinion, and what the empty nesters who I've worked with have said, is East Medford. What's so great about East Medford though? Well, there's a lot of things, okay? First and foremost, the proximity to pretty much everything, okay? Medical, the hospital's right nearby, and all the specialists are pretty much right near there. Golf courses from the country club to Centennial, a lot of different courses right there nearby. Shopping options, restaurants. There's also a lot of newer developments that have happened in that area with nice new homes with low maintenance properties that are designed specifically with these types of buyers in mind. It's super easy to get around. The roads are nice there. The big wide, a lot of them are 2 lanes on each side with foothill. McAndrews, both those make it really easy to get around town. It's also a very active neighborhood. Lots of people hiking and biking. Roxy Ann Trails nearby, which has a lot of opportunities for both of those things. If you go drive through East Medford, you're gonna see a lot of people out walking their dogs or just walking and getting exercise. So definitely, popular for those reasons. Also very close to a couple vineyards, which is great too. And of course, East Medford is famous for its beautiful views of the valley. The price range in that area is about $400,000 on the low end and get all the way into the $2 million or more range, with a median probably closer to $600,000. And the reason there's such a wide range there is because there's a lot of different types of properties, okay? There's a lot of new construction. That's where a lot of the newer development has tended to happen. In Southern Oregon, there's definitely been probably more there than most other spots around. But a lot of the homes that have been built have had, again, this type of buyer in mind. So you'll find a lot of single level homes with lower maintenance yards, and those places kind of geared towards this empty nester type of a buyer. A lot of bigger homes too when you get more up the hill with really, really spectacular views. So definitely caters to those with families and who are just in need of a bigger home. So a lot of different types of buyers and residents up in that neighborhood, which creates a nice diverse mix. What's the downside to East Medford? Well, it's popular, and so it's going to be a little bit busier than some of the other areas of Southern Oregon. Nothing like Ashland, but there's definitely some times where you're going to feel a little bit of congestion on the roads. I wouldn't even go as far as calling it traffic, but you'll see some, backed up a little bit, or just more cars and stuff moving around, and probably some more construction going along, whether it's through just homes being built or new developments going in or improvement projects to the roads and those sorts of things. That's all going to happen. Let's move on to the next life situation, and that is retirees, okay? A good location for retirees is East Medford, like we just talked about. Lots of great things going for it. Another really, really good option is Jacksonville, one of my favorite towns. I absolutely love it, but it does tend to be a little bit too small for some. So the best location for retirees, in my opinion, in Southern Oregon is Central Point, and more specifically the neighborhood of Twin Creeks, which is where I'm filming this video right now. What's so great about this neighborhood? Well, it's just got a really, really good balance about it, okay? A good balance of community and convenience, okay? There's a lot of senior living options. Twin Creeks offers a lot of single family homes with low maintenance. There's several retirement homes in this area that offer various different levels of care. So if you come in and you're, much more active in your, retirement, and you're walking around and doing all that and you don't need any care, there's places for you like that. And then as you need more and more help and everything, then you can progress through. But it's nice to have that option and to also have it in a community that's still full of families and kids, and you see, just a good mix. You see kids having their soccer practice or riding their scooters around or their bicycles or folks walking, and that's nice to have in this neighborhood. The community here also has a really great coffee shop, wine bar, and fun fact, it's home to the best real estate team in all of Southern Oregon. I might be a little bit biased on that, but our office is here in the Twin Creeks neighborhood. Price range here ranges from the 300s all the way into the 800s, and I've seen some even listed above that, but it's not very common just because it's a smaller community and the yard space isn't quite as big to be able to justify up into the million range in most cases. We do have quite a few different types of properties here, from townhomes to single family homes like I mentioned, and also there's a mix of apartments. There's some commercial in here with the restaurant, coffee shop, and those types of places in here. But with the homes, this development in Twin Creeks started in the early 2000s, so you'll end up with homes on one side of it that are in the early 2000s, and on the other side, pretty much brand new construction is going to be all over on that other side. So what's the downside to the Twin Creeks community in Central Point? Well, basically it just doesn't have as much immediate access to the outdoor activities like hiking, mountain biking, the Rogue River, and those sorts of things, right? It's also not as many great dining options in Central Point when you compare it to places like Ashland or Jacksonville or even Medford. But that being said, neither of them are really that far away. You could be in Medford in a few minutes and Jacksonville in a few more minutes going the other direction. And that's not really a big deal for some folks, but it can be an absolute deal breaker for others. So the obvious point here is that there is no one size fits all answer for what is the optimal location in Southern Oregon. But hopefully this video gave you a clear view of how the different areas can cater to the different lifestyles that folks want to live as your life inevitably evolves and changes. So if you're thinking about moving here, or maybe you already live here and you're just thinking about switching it up, it can be overwhelming to figure out what truly fits the life that you want to live. And that's what my team and I are here for. We've helped people in every stage find their place in Southern Oregon. So shoot me a message, call, text, email, whatever is most convenient for you, and I will walk you through all the options and help you weigh the trade-offs and figure out what really works for the lifestyle that you want to live. I'm Brian Simmons with the Buying Southern Oregon Real Estate Team. If you like this video and you want to learn more about Southern Oregon, I really think that you're going to love this video right here, so be sure to check that one out. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on that next video.